Hi, everybody. I'm Meosha. Welcome to Creator to Creators. And we're here with this wonderful, amazing, talented creator himself. What's your name and where are you from?
Okay, so my name is Kevin Lynch and I'm from London, England, UK.
All right. The UK. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Absolutely love it. It's beautiful. And
on one of our rare sunny days.
oh, is it raining today, you said?
It's not raining today. We've got blue sky, the sun is out. It is 21 degrees.
Wow. That's incredible.
Day.
That's incredible. Yeah. So how'd you get started in the industry? What is your start? Curious.
Okay, so my start is I've always had an interest in photography and video creation. So I remember years back when I was a wee child, I videoed my sister's 6th birthday. So I would have been 16 at the time. So we're going quite a way back when video cameras were still slung on your shoulder and the recording part was a separate bag that you carried on your other shoulder. This is a VHS-based camera. So we're going way back. That was the first video I ever made, my sister's 6th birthday. And that just sparked an interest in video creation. So you can imagine the technology then was completely different to what we have now. There were no mobile phones. We were still using analog technology, so nothing was digital. We was using big VHS cassettes. There were no computers to edit on because that was still very much a Hollywood industry thing, video editing, whatever. No one edited video at home. So you just basically paused on the camera, started recording again. That was your video. What you shot was what you got, basically.
Wow.
Yeah. But ever since then, took it up as a hobby and just took it from there, basically, onto YouTube. What I like to try and do is I've been practicing doing special effects.
Oh.
So, I have a whole channel where I have all of my children. I've subjected them to various videos where they
I love it.
Yeah, blown up, transported Star Trek style, firing laser guns, all that kind of stuff.
That's awesome. He loves his kids, by the way. He loves his kids very much.
I do really.
No, that's awesome. That's really cool. So, special effects. That's cool. So you've always had a love for photography. I love that. Yeah, amazing photography. I love what you're working like your photos and there's always I love the ones that is it the one in a cup? It's like the water and those are really cool.
Yes.
Love those.
So that's something that quarantine has, in a sense, put me in a position where I can start exploring creative things, because you can imagine mostly being stuck at home, having a camera that I recently upgraded to. I did have a Panasonic FZ150, which is about 7 or 8 years old now, so I've outgrown that camera. I recently invested in a Fuji X-T2, which, in the Fuji line is still an older model, but it's a very capable camera. And so having this camera has really re-sparked my passion for photography. Having a camera that I just want to get out there with and take photos, but I can't get out there and take photos. So it's forced me to look at things that I can do at home. And one of the things that I came across was high-speed photography, where you basically just drop things in water. You try to capture that moment where it splashes and it's inside and you've got all the bubbles.
Love
and the
that.
water out. So there was one photo in particular where I dropped, I think it was a grape. It was either grape or cherry. I just pulled stuff that we had in our fridge. And I did this in our back garden. I literally took a sheet of white A4 paper and made that into an infinity curve on a step ladder, no less. And then set this glass upon this sheet of paper. So you had this infinity curve behind the glass. And then I just started dropping things in the water. And I had a grape. And this one shot was bang, nailed it. The grape dropped in. I had the camera on burst mode. And it just captured the moment where the grape had gone into the water and splashed out the glass. And there's this huge splash upwards. And I just caught that moment. And I've actually got that as a framed photo in my home now.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. No, I love those. They're so gorgeous. It's like,
Oh,
wow,
thank you.
that's cool. You're just, I love that you're staying creative and you're still doing things even though we're all in this kind of like
Yeah.
lockdown. But you're
Yeah.
still finding ways to create, and I think that's really awesome. Like that you're creating. Which leads me to my next question. What are you working on at the moment?
Okay,
Are
so
you,
what I'm work oh sorry. Yeah, what I'm working on is actually moving the whole photography, video creation, moving it from a hobby to an actual career or
nice.
or second source of income. Because one of the things that I'm seeing now, one of the things that this quarantine period has highlighted is the need to have multiple streams of income.
Yes.
You can imagine people being furloughed. I've been very fortunate in that the industry that I work in, I've actually been busier than normal because I work in the railway industry, the UK rail industry. So I do railway track maintenance. So you can imagine that's an essential thing that can't stop, basically. So I've still been at work. I've been out the house, for work reasons. But it's really highlighted to me, looking at people around me, people in my friend circle, people in my church, and then just reading the news, and you're seeing so much hardship around you, people that are being furloughed, people that have lost their jobs.
Yeah.
There is a major issue, I would say, in London right now with people who was working in the hospitality sector who literally overnight lost their jobs and are now sleeping rough on our streets. And so, it's a major issue. You can imagine all these people that were working in restaurants, hotels, servers, or whatever, who were working on an agency or had come over here as immigrants and were working, lost their jobs. Landlords weren't helping them out. Now they're sleeping rough. And that just really highlighted to me, these days you have to have multiple income streams. And so
Yeah.
what I'm pushing towards is turning what has been a hobby into a second source of income. And that's what I'm working on at the moment. There's a friend that I'm talking with, someone in my church who we're looking to start a photography business together. So
That's great.
four main things we'd be looking at would be portraiture, architectural photography, where we do interior shots for estate agents, stock photography, and the last one slips me, but there is a fourth field that we'd be looking at
Oh,
as well,
cool.
and turning that into an actual business.
That's awesome. I'm sure it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
Have no doubt about it. I love that. That's awesome. Well, that's good that you're finding things to do while, and we're in this situation because we're really not sure when this is actually gonna be like let up and when we're allowed back outside. It's so crazy to think about it, but we're time. So the last question is, are you like kind of nervous that or worried about your career path, like what your career is going to look like, being when this lifted and we're back to normal per se?
Again, not really. And again, I'm one of the fortunate ones because of the industry I work in. Basically, in the UK, if you work in the rail industry, you more or less have a secure job. Unless you mess up spectacularly, you have a very secure job. So I am one of the fortunate ones, and I am very grateful for that. Just with regards to what I mentioned earlier about stepping out and turning a hobby into a career, I've just done some very preliminary research because you can imagine there's all manner of things that you have to take into consideration. There's taxation that you have to take into consideration. So I'll be moving from the system we have here, which is pay as you earn, where basically your taxes are taken direct from your salary. So I'd be moving from that system to basically what we call self-employed, where you then have to declare your taxes and set that aside yourself. So there's a whole issue of moving from payee to self-employed, the whole process of registering yourself as a business, promoting yourself effectively. There's all these different aspects, and it is not so much a worry, but can I do this and can I do this properly and make this work? Because it's a huge step, and the possibility of even stepping out of what is a relatively secure career to then take this and do it full time, to go into that step. So there's all these things in front of me potentially, and it's just having the confidence to know that, okay, yes, I can do this and make it work.
Exactly. Yeah. And it will work out. I like that. You're very positive and very, I think that's what we have to do, is remain positive and it's kind of optimistic about everything, because, I mean, worrying doesn't help.
No, definitely.
Yeah, I like that. And thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate you coming on and spending some time with me. Is there any words of encouragement you would like to share with the people, or I don't know, a link or?
Definitely. I'll just say to people, there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. It may seem for now as if, we've entered into strange times and the world has changed. Eventually things will get back to some sense of normal. It will be a new normal. But I would say, yes, remain positive, remain hopeful, do what you do, and just whatever changes we see at the end of this, embrace it and just do what you do. Do what you do.
Like that. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much. And until next time, guys, live, love, laugh. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.